thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe class, Ironhide. Yet another repaint. This one actually kind of looks cool. Now, while all the other ones, including Ironhide, we did get classic versions of them, this almost looks a little bit better than that classic one, just because that classic one was really panely. So I'm really digging this guy. For the package, you can see, though, you got this nice clamshell that protects the comic book background. And as you can see, it does include the comic book. On the side here, you can see that he's number 5 of 5 of Optimus Maximus. You come around here to the back, showcases all the new Autobot combiners and how they can become an arm or a leg, as well as showing that in 10 steps you can transform Ironhide from his robot to his vehicle. And then it says the most dependable Autobot warrior would sacrifice his own spark to defend the cause of freedom. With the Combiner Wars raging, it doesn't take much to convince Ironhide to enter the battle as part of Optimus Maximus. I mean, I kind of do dig how the story that they're trying to tell is that they need to basically update themselves in order to compete with the Decepticon combiners. I mean, they got Devastator. Autobots are going to need something pretty big. But for the packaging, that's about it for the guy. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Ironhide open up and out of his packaging. And again, this is a figure that honestly I'm kind of on the fence about. In terms of an updated look, I don't think it really looks all that bad. You can see that you can store this foot and hand accessory on the back, much like you could do with Offroad. But he's now this just pickup truck. Now, for comparison, here's that classic version, but this is the Henkei version, so it's a little bit different in terms of the color. But like I talked about, I think in a previous video, or maybe it was this one, I mean, this is very ugly in terms of all the cut panel lines. I mean, that's really an unattractive look. And I always thought it was kind of funny that the back of him actually kind of looks like the front of the G1 figure. That's always kind of funny. But, you know, in general, though, I don't think it's really that bad of an update. I mean, yes, he's not the, you know, SUV looking thing, but I kind of dig this. And honestly, it kind of goes along with what we got with Ironhide in terms of like the modernization of him kind of being a pickup truck. And we have Michael Bay to thank for that. But you come around here the back, you got some nice painted bumper colors. You got that yellow stripe that this does have. You come around, you got this nice gunmetal gray front section. You got a cool Autobot logo right there. I mean, generally speaking, I think it looks good. Now, at least in terms of an alternate form. He kind of throws me off when he gets to the robot form. Now, taking a look at his comic, you can see that you got that image of him up there. And basically, the thing that kind of throws me off the most is he really looks kind of young. Again, it's a good comic. You come around here to the front and it says that it is Combiner Wars number 15. But again, I'm not actually specifically sure which comic book it is. One thing I will say is, though, the art looks different than some of the other books. So I don't know if it's a different artist or whatever, but the art does look a little bit different. Then you come around here to the back and you have his character bio and kind of brief history. And I really like how it says, Optimus Prime inspires tremendous loyalty and awe in the Autobots, but there's no one they'd rather fight beside or behind than Ironhide. Now, it really does show that he has a lot of respect from his fellow Autobots and things of that nature. You know, it talks about a beloved and respected hero. Ironhide has been on the front of the Autobot charge since the very beginning, so it does talk about like kind of how old he is, but I guess the figure, he comes across fairly young looking. And then you come around here to the back, and much like all the other ones, you got this on the desk sort of thing with the sketch face, great model face, finished product, and then the color grid showing you the different colors that he needs to have. So yeah, again, really cool that they include it. I don't know what the story is, but you get the basic idea. So I think in terms of his two modes, I think that the vehicle mode probably works the best for him. Like I said, you do have these extra weapons. It kind of looks like the engine on there. It can right up here, you slot that in there like so. It's kind of a pain in the butt to wedge it in there, honestly, but you wedge that in there. Something, come on, there you go. Why don't you want to wedge in there? You just, come on now, wedge it, and there we go. And then you can just fold this, and it kind of looks weird. And then he comes with his axe. It's just in this gray plastic, and there's not really much you can do with this. I mean, you can put it there, but it looks kind of silly. So just get that out of there, and you detach everything when you do it. But like I said, it's his robot mode that probably throws me off the most. Not that it's a bad robot mode, but we'll get into it. But like I've done in the other videos, because we have seen the transformation for this guy, I am going to go ahead and skip it in this. But if you do need help, I will put the the link for this, or specifically Offroad's review that shows the actual transformation, down in the video description. So if you need help, go there. And like I talked about before, I'm not going to show the limb configurations in this particular video. I'm saving that for the review of Omega Prime, in which I'll show both Ironhide in a leg and arm configuration. So all that being said, that's about it for his vehicle mode. So through some movie magic, we're going to go from Ironhide looking like this to looking like this. And, you know, I gotta really kind of amend what I've been saying all this time. And looking at this guy, yeah, he's definitely not my Ironhide. You can see that with the more slender body and kind of streamlined look, he has a much younger kind of appearance. Now, bringing this guy in, it's kind of like, yeah, he's the young guy, and this is Ironhide when he's let himself go. I mean, he's got a belly, his arms kind of stick out. You can imagine he probably waddles. I mean, size-wise, you can see they're just about the same, but I've been really kind of unfair towards these figures. And while, like I said, this isn't my version of Ironhide, this is probably closer to what I like for Ironhide. He's an absolutely decent representation of the character. I mean, his head sculpt is amazing on this. Coming so that you can see that. I mean, that's a great looking head. I mean, I'm sorry, but it really is. And even though he's kind of young looking, I mean, it's still really cool looking. I mean, I like that he's got a little bit of a paint on his eyes. It's not much. I mean, it's hardly anything at all, but I mean, I really do feel bad because I've been kind of nitpicky with these and saying, well, this isn't going to fit on my classic shelf. And for me, yeah, that's absolutely true, but I think that kids will still actually really like this. This is a really cool looking action figure, and I should be a little bit more fair when I say, or when I do my reviews, and I do apologize. I got stuck in my own brain, and I don't feel really gave these guys a fair shot. I mean, they're all good figures, and even though that they aren't what I think of when I think of these particular characters, that shouldn't dissuade anybody from picking these up. Now, for his articulation, he has a ball joint here for the head, so you get a nice range of motion with it. The shoulders are on ball joints, so they can rotate, they can move in and out. This section here, you can still move out. It's personal preference. I kind of like leaving it down. I think it looks a little bit better. And then the shoulder or the elbows here are on soft ratchets, and then they rotate as well, so you get a nice range of motion there. Nothing at the wrist. You come down here for the waist, then obviously that does rotate just because that's going to be like his elbow joint or something in combiner mode. And then, well, the ball joints here at the hips, he rotates here at the thigh and bends at the knee. Nothing at the ankles, but you can see that they are a position where they're a little bit angled outward, so you can have his legs a little bit spread like so. And still, I mean, real good paint detail on here. You got some of that blue metallic coming here on the chest as well. Like I said, the head is really great. You got an Autobot logo right there. You got some extra detail in here, and there's some really nice molded detail in his legs, kind of showing gears and things like that. But I mean, and you can position this however you want. Obviously, most people are going to have it back like so. So yeah, he is a repaint both of Offroad as well as First Aid. So well, more specifically Offroad, because he's got the legs, and then you can give him an axe, which, you know, Ironhide with an axe is never a bad thing. I mean, that's, you know, it's Ironhide with an axe. I mean, come on. I mean, it's really fun. Yeah, and then if you want to use this as a weapon as well, you can have him kind of hold that, get that in there. You can have him hold that like a gun or something. I don't really think that looks very good as a gun, to be totally honest, but I mean, hey, you can do what you want with it. But overall, I mean, really nice looking figure. You can see that they did do a good job kind of updating him and making him, you know, give that Ironhide sort of appeal. So like I said, while he's not my version of Ironhide, I still think he is a good-looking figure, and I do think worth at least considering to pick up. But that's about it for this guy. Now, like I said, I'm not going to show the limb configuration. That's coming up in my next video, in which I'll take a look at the Ultra Prime and show all these guys in both their legs and arm configurations so that you can see how it kind of looks on that Optimus Prime figure. So stay tuned to that. But if you're looking for these guys, they are slowly starting to trickle out to various retail places. Or as always, you can pick them up at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS, where you can check out their availability on this guy as well as the rest of the new Deluxe figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.